What's up, Uber drivers watching? I hope you're having a decent day so far, and today we're about to jump into a story that is just a definition of first world problems in 2021. So you know how nowadays 80% of strong independent businesswomen are literally just OnlyFans chicks? Well, some of them will pursue OnlyFans at all costs, even if it directly harms their own kids. Today we're taking a look into a story of a grown-ass woman who started off an extremely public OnlyFans which got her own kids expelled from Christian school. But before we get into all that, in case you're new around here, I'm Materwelon and I'm the only person that creates commentary videos. So if you feel like supporting the channel, go hit that like button and quickly sub to the channel. It only takes a second and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I have Twitter at realmaterwelon, so go follow me on there as well for some spicy hot takes. Alright, so the information I'm getting is from some kind of mainstream news station, so let's hear what these corporate bastards have to say.
I want to get back to a Sacramento mom who says her 3 young kids are now expelled from Catholic school because she sells sexy videos online.
Okay, I'm gonna have to already stop right there to start ranting about this. Just this one sentence already. Kids got expelled from Catholic school because their mom saw pictures of herself online. How would you ever think this is an even somewhat legitimate idea? If you have your own kids in a Catholic school out of all places, let me tell you, ladies and gents, if you ever feel like going into the sex business, that's an absolutely viable career path, especially nowadays. Cause sex workers especially are making serious bank right now. I don't think it has ever been this easy to get into the entire sex business scene as well, with platforms like especially OnlyFans rising to the top very quickly. Although it should also be noted that it's hard to get out of there if you desire to leave this entire scene behind, since the internet will not forget. Mia Khalifa is obviously the prime example for that. But once you're aspiring to be in this sort of space, then you firstly need to be aware of your surroundings. It should be a viable career path, but not everybody is going to accept your decision right away, sadly. And if you have kids and they are in a Catholic school, you need to be responsible enough to, if you really want to pursue stuff like OnlyFans as a full-time job, then you need to at least try not to loudly proclaim your new business in a goddamn Catholic school. You need to be especially cautious exactly in a Catholic private school, cause these monks or nuns or whatever, they will not tolerate that whatsoever, which is sad, but it's just how it is.
She and her husband say they've done nothing wrong by posting these photos, but all 3 of her kids under the age of 12 are now not welcome here at the school, and they can't even pick up their things left in class.
Alright, regardless of the extent of what this mom did for her OnlyFans, which we'll get into in just a second, I absolutely don't agree with the decision to throw the kids out of school, especially since they're all like around age 10, where they have zero concept of what OnlyFans and sex work even is in the first place. However, I went to a Catholic school myself, and Catholic schools are the fucking definition of conservative idiocy and intolerance. They stand for all of that retarded bullshit like no premarital sex, no gay marriage, etc. A bunch of fucking terrible things to support. Catholic private schools are commonly terrible when it comes to acceptance, and that is horrible, especially since the kids have to suffer for this. I don't think it's a justified decision in the slightest here. Realistically, the kids clearly had no control over this, and now they're basically gonna need to search for a new school, and potentially even new friends, since they won't be in the same school anymore. Which is some bullshit, because why would you put a child through that? So for that aspect, I'm actually on the parent side for once. But for the rest, not so much.
Crystal Jackson, known as Mrs. Pointdexter online, says she and her husband take her hot mom persona and turn it into a profit. It started with one post on Reddit as a way to spice up her relationship.
Listen man, I'm sorry, but that is a fucking dumbass reason if you have kids. I think you should be allowed to start sex work if you're comfortable with it. But if it's for such a weak reason, then you shouldn't go around and publicly announce it to everyone. If you are in money needs, then hey, go all for it. But if you're in a non-accepting environment and your only motivation is spicing a relationship up, you need to think of the kids instead. I mean, how does other people online jerking off to you, probably mostly fat and lonely men if we're being real, even strengthen your relationship in the first place? Personally, I feel like that would do more harm than good, and therefore be extremely counterproductive. Maybe you should just start communicating with your husband more. And you absolutely have to explain this to your little children at some point, because otherwise they will find out through getting thrown out of school or something like that. Oh, that already happened? Fantastic.
Now, more than a year later, she says she's making up to $150,000 a month selling access to her photos and videos on her OnlyFans account.
That is making some bank. I'm not even gonna lie. This woman is like in her 30s, so to be making 150k, that is quite impressive. But again, she probably shouldn't have been so open about it, knowing the environment she put herself in. Best would have probably been like preemptively moving the kids to another school, because she obviously knew that Catholics are not accepting or tolerant of OnlyFans sex work at all. Now you know if you're a hot chick, the easy path in life is just starting an OnlyFans, and you basically have earned enough to enjoy a comfortable rest of your life. Like, dudes have it better than chicks in a lot of areas really, but sex work is one of those niches where hot chicks can basically earn themselves rich, and in some cases like nudity don't even need to show full nudity to become popular. And as a guy on OnlyFans, you need to literally have developed a cult around you to get people to subscribe, and even then you mostly need to go all out for your content.
Crystal says last summer, a group of moms found her site and started a campaign to get her 3 kids kicked out of Sacred Heart Parish, a Catholic elementary school.
Okay, generally fuck those people. Don't get me wrong, I think this woman is an absolute idiot too for handling things the way she did, but starting a goddamn campaign to get the kids kicked out, that's fucking retarded. Like, what did the fucking 10-year-old kids do to you? How are they at fault here? To keep it real, women in their 30s were probably jealous of all the sexual attention this woman got. But if you have such hatred for her, then at least try and target her. Don't be an absolute douche and go after the little children that weren't even aware that their mother had an OnlyFans or didn't even know what OnlyFans was to begin with.
Marissa, you really have to worry about these kids. They're all under 12. They're now kicked out of school. And the way the rumors work, most likely their classmates may find out if they don't already know.
To be fair, this guy's a massive idiot for saying, oh, what if the classmates find out? Like, you're literally the fucking news reporter broadcasting this to American national TV. Most of the little kids are going to find out through you, you idiot. Still though, schools are not progressive Twitter. A lot of kids are damn brutal. Like, could you imagine what sort of Trump bully card this would be? Yeah, your mom's a slut, and then another kid just comes around with like an actual video evidence of their mom fucking someone naked. Yeah, that's not gonna end well for the kids, even though a lot of their classmates are probably too young to understand yet. But in 2 or 3 years, when they're like 12 or 13, they might find themselves in a lot of trouble they realistically and honestly have no fault for. That's why it's important to look after your kids in these sort of situations. Like, this is clearly affecting her kids negatively, and as a mother you should be aware of that, and you should prioritize your children over anything. On one hand, we should teach some children to be more aware and accepting of this, but on the flip side, we haven't reached a point in society yet, so in my opinion this is still kind of irresponsible by their parents here. But this is really how the story ends. I mean, their mom is still making bank, and this blew her OnlyFans up even more. Like, she has more and more and more subscriptions rolling in through all that exposure she got through the news, and they'll most likely be able to find another school, so I don't worry about that too much other than the potential bullying factor. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. I mean, her OnlyFans did definitely blow up after this at least. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in golf around in the next video. Stay safe.